For the monk, we have Invoker and Acolyte of Chayula. Let's get started with the Invoker. From the starting point here, we have a couple of different paths, actually a lot of different paths that we can go. Let's check out 3 and 7 because those are the only ones that they're single. So 3 is Faith is a choice. This one grants skill Meditate. Meditate channels to recharge energy shield can overcharge your energy shield up to double its normal maximum. Channeling ends when you take damage or your energy shield is double its normal maximum. This skill cannot be used if your ES is already double its normal maximum or you have no maximum ES. So Meditate will actually be taking advantage of the increased recharge energy shield rate. Recharging energy shield is basic on the game, right? Whenever you're not taking damage, your energy shield recharges at a rate, and you can boost that rate from passives. So yeah, there are a lot of passives that actually boost that. Yeah. It is triggering the recharge rate. Yeah, that's why it is also underlined. So yeah. So if you boost your recharge rate to a good amount, in theory you could just go into a small corner in bosses and you can channeling. I mean, yeah, you could tank big abilities. Yeah, in theory, like if the boss is channeling their own big ability, you can also. It stops. Yeah, but the thing is, let's say that you have 4,000 DS, right? Let's say that you have 4,000 DS. And the boss is channeling a big slam. You can also meditate, so you're channeling your ES to boost it to like 8,000 ES, and then you take the hit. Meditate is gonna stop, but you already have double your ES. Yeah, it kind it has its uses. It might be a little bit too clunky to use, but we're gonna see. I'm also interested to see if channeling is gonna be affected by cast speed or anything like that, like maybe, or if you have any interesting support gems that could boost the recharge ES rate even further. So like again, when we are getting those skills, we need to think about what kind of support gems we're gonna add to them, right? So yeah. It could be an interesting one, it could be a little bit clunky, but we're gonna have to find out. Let's see the 7 here. Soul Springs Eternal meta skills gain 30% more energy. Here we go. Now, this is a very big part of the Monk kit, I feel like, in general. For a lot of characters, not just Monk, but Monk seems to have a little bit more specifically things to do with it. Basically, meta gems, how they work is that they have a condition, like, maybe shocking enemies, and those conditions build energy. When the energy is maximum, then they trigger the spells that you have socketed on them, right? So actually the meta gems gaining more energy that means effectively that you will be proccing a lot more triggers out of those meta gems, and it is a very powerful effect. Also, very important to note, on the tree, I believe it is up here, yes, 35% chance for trigger skills to refund half of the energy spent. So as a monk, you will actually, I believe monk is starting from this part or this part. No, I think it's this part. It doesn't matter. Either way, you do have access into it. So that means that whenever you are triggering, you have a chance of refunding some of the energy back to you, and you also gain energy a lot faster. That means that in the end game, Monk is probably gonna be triggering like, I don't know, 8, 10 different skills, something like that, with the various meta gems that we have. There are a lot of meta gems, and we're probably gonna get even more with different kind of conditions. And it does feel like that a lot of those conditions will be easy enough for a Monk build to met them, right? So let's go into the 4, 5, and 6 here. We have the I'm the Blizzard, I am the Thunder, and Ice are Raids. Yep, that's basically what the Blizzard people are doing. Gain 10% of damage as extra cold on freezing enemies, create sealed ground. The I am the Thunder gain 10% damage as extra line and 25 chance on shocking enemies to create shock grounds. Those we already knew. And Ice Raids, this is Unbound Avatar. We're being granted this skill, and gain Unbound Fury by inflicted elemental ailments with hits on enemies. Once you reach maximum Unbound Fury, consume it to become unbound for a duration, vastly augmenting your elemental prowess. I'm guessing this is gonna be giving us more elemental damage with attacks, or more flat, or something like that. But most of the things in the Monk kit having to do with attacks, so this is why I'm saying that it's not gonna be just elemental spell damage, right? Most likely. And again, as you see, this is basically a skill that you have control over it, right? So you are stacking it while you're inflicting elemental ailments, and you need to press it to activate it. It's like a temporary buff, so you can use this to kill rare enemies. You can use this burst damage on bosses and stuff like that when you have good DPS windows. We don't know, again, we don't know exactly the numbers, so it's a little bit tough to say if it's gonna be good or not, but it already definitely has its merits. Let's go to the bottom here for 8 and 9. So we have Sunder my enemies and scatter them to the winds. I love the names, by the way, and the ... I absolutely love them. What a nice design of an Ascendancy, man. Critical hits ignore non-negative enemy monster elemental resistance. So basically, your critical hits treat monsters as them having 0 elemental resistance. Grant skill elemental expression. Trigger elemental expression on melee critical hit. Creates a fiery explosion, an arcing bolt of lightning, or an icy wave of projectiles. The chance for an explosion is proportional to your strength, for a bolt is proportional to your dexterity, and for a wave is proportional to your intelligence. This is actually a very interesting trigger. So yeah, elemental expression seems interesting. It has some synergies with attribute scaling as well. In this case, we really don't know if there is going to be a cooldown here on the skill, and also if we can. No, we cannot proc more. Two of them at the same time. You can only proc one, and the chances of the proc is coming based on your attributes, right? So yeah, kind of makes sense. We have more passives to go through here. We have 1 and 2. Let me through grace. We gain 1 spirit for every 6 ES on equipped body armor. Gain 1 spirit for every 15 evasion on equipped body armor. Cannot gain spirit from equipment. Now, for some characters, this last line could be a very big problem. For a monk, I don't think so, because quarterstaff don't really have implicit for spirit. I don't think they can even roll increased spirit on them anyway. So this is basically something like the trickster that we have in PoE 1. We already have the trickster passives for this kind of thing with the ES and evasion rating on your body armor on the passive tree for anyone to take because they were just not broken enough on the Trickster in PoE 1. So we brought them on the passive tree for anyone to anoint and have in PoE 2. And we love you, GG, for that. Thank you very much. So yeah, we gain a lot of spirit out of that. So a hybrid evasion ES body armor in the end game could net you a fair amount of spirit. Of course, we don't know exactly the values of the bases of the items that we're gonna have, generally speaking. So if we can get, let's say, I don't know, let's say 1500 evasion on the body armor, right? This is basically, okay, that was wrong. This is 100 spirit because you divide by 15, and another like 340 ES, yeah, another 50. So you can get like 160 spirit without any insane body armor, right? 160 spirit is plenty, and again, because you want to use a lot of meta skills and stuff like that, you are going to need a fair amount of spirit for other things as well. I do like that very much. And we have protecting from harm. Evasion rating also grants physical damage reduction, 40% less evasion rating. I am losing my fucking mind here. This is absolutely insane. So why I'm saying that straight out of the get-go is very simple. Any evasion build, right? Any evasion rating build in PoE has one weakness instantly: physical damage mitigation. With this, you don't have that weakness anymore. So you're getting all the bonuses of the evasion rating, avoiding attacks and stuff like that. And when the attacks do come in, you are using your evasion rating for your physical damage reduction. Now, of course, a bonus like that also comes with a big downside: 40% less evasion rating. Definitely is a huge issue here, but you can do a lot of different things to boost your evasion rating and bypass that, right? And also keep in mind, as an added bonus, like in the past, you want to reach like the maximum evasion rating, right? You want, 80%, 85, 90% of evasion. In PoE 1, evasion percent caps at 90%. I feel like this is gonna be the case for PoE 2, but you want to be as close to that as well as you can, right? And the reason for that is that you want to be as close so that your evasion rating gains a lot of value, and only a few hits actually come to you, because once again, your physical damage mitigation is your weakness, so you don't want a lot of hits. Now, in PoE 2, this is very different though, because even if you have 60% chance to evade attacks, and you're getting hit more by more attacks, you're gonna have physical damage mitigation with this, right? So yeah, we are getting less evasion, we are getting hit more, but we also can defend ourselves against those attacks. So very, very strong one. I'm definitely gonna build the character with this 100%. I can guarantee you that. So generally speaking, Invoker seems to be a very strong Ascendancy. Honestly, it is getting my vote, and it is on my list for league starters for sure. There is a lot of different setups that you can go for as well. Let's see if we can get some combinations here. Now, I would say as a first skill on your Ascendancy, the first skill on your Ascendancy, of course you can change that later on, but you want something that it is going to give you instant power. That is the best thing about ascending early on during the campaign. You want as much power as you can get, even if you change that down the line, right? So I'm not sure in this case which one would be. I'm guessing it would be Sunder My Enemies, honestly. If you can have skills that, if you have decent amount of critical hit, it could be that. And there are some things that you can do to guarantee your big finisher to have a critical hit guarantee. So basically, you could be building up combos and stuff like that. There are a lot of different skills that you can do with the monk. And then your big finisher is gonna be ignoring negative monster elemental resistances, and you would be tanking bosses every 3 seconds or whatever it's gonna take you to build up, right? So maybe that's gonna be the biggest boost early on. Of course, meta skills gain 35% more energy could also be a huge boost. That would almost, although that would be depending on what and how many meta skills we will be unlocking early on, because those might have higher level requirement and they could be coming a lot later, so probably not gonna be the best early on, right? So yeah, maybe Thunder the enemy. The other ones is they're very easy. I'm the Blizzard, I'm the Thunder. Both of them are just extra damage. Out of the two, I would probably go with the Blizzard, because Chill Ground is also a very nice defensive layer, slowing things around you, especially for a pseudo melee character. I think this is a very nice effect to have on your character, and you can definitely have freeze build up on a lot of skills on the monk, so you will be getting your Chill Grounds, right? So yeah, it is also very nice for bosses as well, so why not, right? Now, generic combination of 4 passives that we could go here. Lend me to grace and protect me. Those could be if you go for evasion ES type of setup on your character. Of course, those are not very strong early on. They're getting a lot more value when you unlock the better bases and you start crafting on them as well, right? So definitely not early game material here, but you can go with those two, and then you can have meditate or as your let's say defensive layer, and add sunder my enemies, or you can just go the evasion rating stuff here and sunder my enemies and scatter them to the winds for the elemental expression, if that's gonna be good. Or most likely what I love is grabbing those two, sunder my enemies and Soul Spring Eternal, and use a whole bunch of meta skills and start proccing everything. Start proccing a whole bunch of things, right? With the meta skills, gain more energy, grab the refund on the passive tree, the 33% chance to refund energy, and yeah, just go nuts. Go nuts with the meta skills. I think it's gonna be a super fun way of playing your monk as well. Like Invoker, it is kind of that, like proccing a lot of different spells and stuff like that. Very apt name to this Ascendancy, and I'm really liking the combinations here. Now, those two, the Blizzard and the Thunder, I'm not sure how strong they're gonna be. Gain whatever percentage as extra has been in PoE 1 in the past. Some of the highest amount of boost on your damage that you could get. So it might still be like the case for PoE 2. We're gonna have to find out. We need to see the details exactly of what Unbound Avatar does to see if there is any merit, because it is a heavy investment. Like, you need to take one of the two for the extra damage and then grab Unbound Avatar. So Unbound Avatar needs to be fairly strong to be worth it, worth taking. Otherwise, I would go another way and go sunder the enemy, scatter the winds early on, just to grab this elemental expression, just to get a little bit more triggering going. Then go Soul Springs Eternal, and probably end game swap this and grab Lend Me to Grace and Protect Me from Harm when I do the Uber, the stage 4 of the trials. So yeah, something like that. Let's move to the Acolyte of Chayula. This is definitely the Ascendancy with one of my favorite names already. Like, I love the Acolyte of Chayula as your own character. Plenty of pumps early on to go here from the starting point. We're gonna check out 3 and 4 because those are the single ones. 3, we have Chayula's gifts, 10% maximum chaos resistance, and chaos resistance is doubled. We talked about this a lot already. This is just an amazing bonus for life or a hybrid life ES character. Maximum chaos resistance is not something very easy to get, and the chaos resistance is doubled is actually very nice, because even though with this you need 85% of chaos resistance, chaos resistance being doubled, I think it will make a lot easier on your gear to have reached your cap chaos resistance, and you don't need a lot of suffix invested for it, right? One other thing about Chayula's gift is that if you go into this route, you do want to find effects that will basically give your chaos resistance even more value, you know, just converting damage into chaos damage, like physical damage taken as chaos and stuff like that. Effects like that become even more powerful as defensive layers, right? The number 4 here, reality renting, we have 23% chance to gain 25% of damage with hits as extra chaos, 13% chance for 50% of damage as extra chaos, and 7% chance for 100% of damage as extra chaos. This is basically the old trickster. Now it's a shadow thing that you can get from Britain Flames for PoE 1. A very powerful effect in very niche builds. If you find the correct combination and the appropriate skill to take advantage of something like that, it can be one of the most powerful passives in the entire game, right? Okay, let's go to the top here. We have 1 and 2. Mana Leech is instant from Ravening Doubts and Consuming Questions. You cannot recharge Energy Shield. Mana Leech effects also recover Energy Shield. I've talked about this to the death during all of those streams these days, but honestly it is one of the most powerful things that we have in any of the Ascendancies, right? Mana Leech being instant is already very good. You could just take Raven's Doubts and be happy with it, right? But then Mana Leech affecting your recovery Energy Shield, your recovery of the Energy Shield is an incredible amount, an incredible powerful effect. Especially if you consider that we already have passive skills that increase our Mana Leech effect. That means that you can get a lot of Mana Leech. We are talking about a monk, so we are talking about you know, attacks generally speaking. So you can get Mana Leech on your attacks. You can boost that quite a bit and then get an amazing recovery for your ES. You can do that as CI, you can do that as hybrid, and we already talked about Chayula's gift, how good it is on a hybrid build, right? So a lot of synergies. Mana Leech is instant, could also give us a little bit of an option. Okay, I'm sorry. This cough is actually torturing me right now when I'm trying to talk about our senses. Mana Leech being instant could also mean that we might have some capability of doing mind over matter. Like, we are talking about high-end game setup here. It's not something that you just, you know, get Mana Leech is instant, use a couple of attacks, grab mind over matter on the passive tree and you're done. No, it's not that simple. It's gonna be something complicated. It is something that I'm already investigating, and I'm trying to build something on my head, and we're gonna do it later down the line in game. It is already one of the first, you know, high investment projects that I have on my mind. Trying to get a monk Acolyte of Chayula with mind over matter going, right? I know that other people also are dreaming about this. It is a very weird setup because Mana Leech is gonna be coming from attacks and a lot of other things when it comes to mind over matter, and you know, if you want dark mages and stuff like that, those are related to spells. So there is a little bit of a combination you need to do. It requires a lot of pieces to come together, and it's a very nice puzzle to solve. I'm hoping I can solve it at some point in the future. Let's go waking dream and the lucid dreaming. Those right here, 5 and 6. So very simple. Grant skills into the bridge. Creates a bridge around you, allowing you to see nearby flames of Chayula. You're considered to be in a bridge while the skill is active. Now, this is a very weird thing. Like, I've been talking about what kind of support gems we are, you know, putting on a granted skill, and for this, my mind is going blank. Duration, maybe? I have no idea. Right? So yeah, I don't know how good this is gonna be. Now, if we see on the lucid dreaming, effect and duration of flames of Chayula on you is double, and the flame of Chayula by itself is basically collecting the flames that they're on the bridge around you. Red flames give you leads 7% of your maximum life. Blue flames give you 7% of your maximum mana, which by the way, pretty nuts with the insta leads. And purple flames of Chayula provide a stacking buff, granting 7% of damage as chaos for 5 seconds, and it stacks up to 10. So yeah, this one is a very powerful effect. It's 70% damage as chaos, which is incredible amount, but we don't know the details. We don't know how often those flames appear, if we can sustain them, if it's gonna be okay in our gameplay. There are so many things that we don't know here, right? I'm hoping this is gonna be good, because this, generally speaking, seems a very, very interesting and fun way of building a character. So yeah, we're gonna have to find out. And also, you are considered to be in a bridge while the skill is active. Might have some implications from, you know, maybe the Atlas passive tree, so you could maybe use it on your mapping to gain other things. I don't know, man. We're gonna have to see. Yeah, again, it's one of those things. We don't have all the information. We're not spreading shit here. The last part of the Acolyte of Chayula is the bottom right here. The Embrace the Darkness, Grasp of the Void, and Inner Silence. We have the Embrace the Darkness, removing all of your spirit. Base maximum darkness is 100. For each life or ES lost to damage, reserve 1 darkness instead of, if possible. Darkness reservation lasts 10 seconds, and you're gaining 5 maximum darkness per level. So you can have 600 maximum darkness at level 100. I've talked about this a little bit before. It could be broken, it could be very strong, or it could be absolute garbage. We need to play with this, we need to get a feeling with this and see how we're gonna be doing that. Now, the bonuses for the unreserved darkness from Grasp of the Void is 1% of damage as extra chaos per 20 unreserved darkness. Now, here's the thing, right? If we do 600, we are getting 30% damage as extra chaos. On the other hand, we can get 70% of it from the flames. So which one is better? And that's, by the way, the maximum here, right? Because while you're getting hit on your life or your ES, you are going to be reserving darkness, and I don't know, man. Right, this one, again, I don't have a lot of faith into it, at least not right now. It's one of those things that it will depend on what kind of synergies we can build around them. I talked about this a little bit in the past, like you probably want you know, evasion rating and stuff like that, so that you don't get hit very often. You need the appropriate set of skills so that you can be a little bit more of a ranged character and not get hit very often, so that you have enough unreserved darkness and good uptime on the extra damage. Otherwise, it's not really worth it because you are also losing your spirit. I mean, it could act a little bit as a defensive layer though for sure, but it is a huge opportunity cost, right? And we have Inner Silence here, 50% reduction, darkness reservation duration, so from 10 seconds it goes to 5 seconds. It's good, it's helpful, but on the other hand, this is like 6 passives, so this is basically all of your Ascendancy. I don't have a lot of faith on this. Again, it could be absolutely broken, but there's so many good things on those passives here that I'm like, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, okay, actually, let's talk about a little bit of a combination. Again, there are a lot of different possibilities for Acolyte of Chayula and some endgame possibilities for sure that we might not be able to grasp right now. And yeah, by the way, I've talked about 70%. Oh yeah, double that because of Lucid Dream, and you can get 140% of your damage as extra chaos damage, which is holy Jesus Christ. Okay, so again, we need to see this in action if it's actually going to be. I mean, even if you get like 4 or 5 stacks very consistent without the gameplay being dog shit, it's still gonna be good. Like 5 stacks is 35%, doubling that is 70%. It's not bad, man. It's not bad by any means. Right, so yeah, we're gonna have to see. And a lot more possibilities maybe on a boss arena to have your flames being capped all the time. Again, if it's gonna be easy or not, we need to see what's gonna happen there. But for a good combination here, I personally do not recommend Acolyte of Chayula as a league starter. It feels like it's a little bit more of a complicated Ascendancy for some type of end game or later game setup. And honestly, even though some of the passives I talked about them probably being some of the strongest ones, early on when you ascend during the campaign on a league start scenario, you are not gaining instant power, which is something that you want, right? Maybe if you start with this, you are gaining the Walking Dream and you are relying on getting those flames, you know, and boosting yourself a little bit. That feels okay. The mana leech is instant, is always a nice bonus. You can be a little bit more free on casting your items, on casting your spells, stuff like that. So you don't care about mana regen. You are solving one of the issues early on instantly. But yeah, I don't know, man. Is this still very good as your first passive during the campaign on a Elixir scenario? Maybe. This is definitely not amazing. Again, you're not even gonna have 20 chaos resistance, so the plus 10 maximum, it doesn't do anything with you for you. Chaos resistance is double, definitely helping, but I don't know, man. Generally speaking, not a recommendation for a league starter, at least not from me. For combination, mana leech resistant and recover shield, those two can go together once again, as we talked about in general speaking. And then you either go Chayula's Gift to boost even further your hybrid build, and Reality Rending for extra damage if you are playing something that can take advantage of those. If not, you're probably going into the Breach, right? But you can ignore Chayula's Gift and go into the Breach and Flames, especially if you are a CI character later down the line, right? Because if you are a CI character later down the line, you can go with the mana leech recovery and grab extra mana leech from the into the Breach, and also of course the extra damage. Double that, 14% maximum mana leech is actually insane for this type of recovery here. So yeah, I could see a CI build going that route if you can find the offensive. Again, Acolyte Chayula is a little bit of a niche ascendancy in my eyes. It has its merits. I love a few things here, and I'm looking forward to building a character with it. Yeah, indeed, if Into the Breach is inconsistent, this is not an amazing ascendancy, for sure. For sure. On the other hand, if Into the Breach is good, and you can get 140% chaos damage extra, damage is extra chaos, and go reality rending as well, we are talking some of the highest amount of damage, raw damage that you can get on a character